snazzy.
Oh, that was unfortunate. The whole planet's crawling with psychopathic killers.
Wildstar. Adventure is about to get an ass kicking.
Hello and welcome to another episode of This Week in Wildstar. This is episode 9. I am Jazzy, joined here today again by my co-host Nuttz and Cabal. How you doing, fellas?
Doing great.
Oh, doing awesome. I'm so glad to be back. It seemed like we took forever there on our little break and can't just wait to get back to record.
Nice little mini vacation to play there.
Yeah.
Show me up. Damn.
You did.
Yeah, sure.
Well, in that time, we actually ended up with a lot of things to talk about. We had the launch, of course, how that went, or how it didn't go for some people. We have the paid services, and the CREDD are now live. Also, already, we're looking at world first and US first raid kills.
Unreal.
Only
That's all
2
I gotta
weeks
say.
in.
Unreal.
Pretty crazy.
There's some crazy stuff. And then also, we're going to talk about all of our first impressions of the live gameplay. So stick
yes.
around. All right, so on June 3rd, we finally saw the official launch of Wildstar. Happy fun times. Though we'd all probably been playing for, about 3 days.
Yeah, just a little while.
Head Start did start on May 31st.
I was there.
Yes, indeed.
I wish I was there. I tried getting in, but no.
There was a little hang-up trying to get into some of the servers. The first thing that actually caused a hang-up is right at the beginning of the Head Start, they were actually DDoS attacked, which is crazy.
Would you like to explain what that is?
Yeah, why don't you explain what that is?
That is a distributed denial of service. Basically what that means is someone pinged the Wildstar or NCSoft servers a lot, many times all in a row, and made it so that the service would not work.
Which is really intentional, yeah, which is pretty neat. And I don't know if you saw the maps that they put out showing that.
Oh,
that
man.
was like really crazy. I was like, oh my God, that's like just bombarding it. And no wonder there was a little issue there in the begining.
I think it was Blizzard.
I think it very well.
Damn it, Blizzard.
Yeah.
They screwed.
And sons of bitches.
Right?
I like to say that I haven't had that many problems with it. I tried logging in, like I waited till 2 my time to get on, and I couldn't get on then, but then I waited till morning, and I only had like 30 minutes to an hour of wait. I mean, it wasn't that bad considering it was a launch, so it wasn't too bad.
The DDoS attack didn't push things back too far. It only delayed logins about 20 minutes, but during that 20 minutes, everybody was freaking out, and Gaffney actually took to Reddit, funny enough.
Which was awesome. I like that.
And he let everyone know, what was going on, that they had been DDoS attacked and that they were working to get the server stable and get everyone back up. So after they fixed that problem, everybody started logging in again, and we were hit with our next roadblock, login queues.
They weren't that bad. People were freaking out over these login queues. And
There's a lot of people. I mean, I saw screenshots some people posted that had like 158-hour waits on them.
But it
Oh
wasn't.
yeah, I had
that
over
long.
1,000, but it went down quickly.
It wasn't that long.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
The queue, like you guys were saying, the queues usually weren't as long as it said. They seem to be exaggerated, but I did actually hear people say they legit sat and waited for up to 4 hours to get into the game on certain servers. That didn't happen on our server, I know that.
I know at one point I think I sat a good, I would think an honest hour and a half. I was on TeamSpeak and just kind of chit-chatting, and I just sat and waited. But what do you expect? There's going to be hiccups. There's going to be issues. You just deal with it. It is what it is. Obviously, Carbine's working on it. It's going to iron itself out. Nothing to get upset over. And you could watch it drop. But I think I logistically really just waited maybe an hour and a half once.
Yeah, and it wasn't that bad considering like what you said. It's launch day. You gotta expect it. I just when I was waiting, I just went on Netflix and watched videos until it was ready.
There you go.
It wasn't a big deal. And then after you got in, as long as you never logged out, there wasn't many problems. There wasn't really many server shutdowns unless they were doing hot fixes, but it never crashed, really.
No, I
Maybe
never
once or twice.
Yeah, once I got in, I never got booted out because
it wasn't
we're
bad.
experiencing massive problems. I mean, yes, they pulled down maybe for 5 to 15 minutes to throw a hot fix in there and get things going again. And that's great, but I never experienced, like, once I got in, if I stayed logged in, I was in.
Yeah. There were no crashes, performance. There was a little bit of some frame drop, but I mean, there was a lot of people around, so kind of, again, to be expected.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it went really smooth. There was no crashing. It was playable. Once you got in, you were good.
Yeah, I thought it ran great, and we both know that.
It's very impressive.
Yeah, we know that I'm running a computer that was having a hard time with it, and I ran pretty decent, considering.
Yeah. And then in response to this, obviously they spun up more servers like we talked about last time. They said if they needed to, they would. They brought up, I believe, 2 more PvP servers and 2 more PvE servers for North America. I heard one RP PvE server for EU and 1 more PvP server, I think, for EU. I'm not 100% on the EU, but they did pull up more servers over the next couple days.
Which you can't blame them for taking that approach as a business model. It makes sense. Raising servers costs money. It's all resources. So the fact that they said, okay, people come on in, we fill them up, we see just what we need, we expand out, and then it's a nice even playing field. We'll give free, server transfers and spread everybody out. And after the initial glitch the first day or two, I have not experienced a Q1 or anything. I mean, I just hop in and I go, and it's been great.
I think a couple days ago I experienced one, but it was legit. It said 30 seconds. I was like, oh, okay. So like,
does that even count? You're really telling me that?
It really doesn't. It doesn't. So
yeah, and like you said, after they brought up those servers, at least for the PvP servers, because that's mostly what I was paying attention to, being that I'm on one. They opened up a PvP server called Rosdower, which is amazing.
Yeah, as soon as I joined mine, I was like, God dang it, I could have joined that one.
And they offered free transfers to that server, which I believe they're still active. You can still transfer from the original 3 PvP servers to Rosdower.
Nice.
Because that server name changes everything.
Yes. It's very important. But like you guys were saying, with so many people there, with them, filling the servers to capacity, I think it's a good thing, especially like on a PvP server like we all play on, because, it leads for more world PvP. The world itself feels, more full. There's more people in town. There's more people to do group quests with out in the field. Dungeon queues are shorter. PvP queues are shorter. You get all those people, and it just makes for better in the end.
I wasn't upset one bit over how they handled it. I think it made sense. It made sense to me to do it that way, and at the end, everybody benefits from it, and they handled the load really well. I mean, they ironed it out quick. They stayed in contact with the community. Here's what we're doing. Here's what's going on. Everybody was aware. I think they handled it well. I liked it.
It was very well, yeah.
It's gone well, definitely.
I mean, you think about, not only did they handle, the launch and the server loads and everything else, but they still did the hot fixes. They still, ran patches and optimizations and added things as well through the process. I mean, they're still in the background doing other things on top of it all, which is pretty neat.
So this week, just a few days ago, they put up all the paid services and CREDD. Yay, more money.
Yeah.
More things to spend money on.
Oh, it's working. It's going to work for them.
So the website that you can buy all the paid services and the CREDD from is shop.wildstar-online.com. What they have up there right now is name changes, server transfers, and the CREDD. All 3 of them are $20 each. I think that's a little much for the name change, personally.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if you'd catch me paying $20 for that, but, and especially with the name reservation debacle.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit of much.
I kind of feel like it's a little ballsy, honestly, after the name debacle there.
It's a little much, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, I bet you, people will do it without hesitation. I'm
I'm thinking about doing it.
I've already bought one.
Yeah. Well, let's do it. It could be like $15 would be good. Even
it's so much though. I mean, it's $10 in most other games.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I would think in the beginning if they wanted to do 10 or 5, like work their way up.
I mean, especially with the name change thing at that point.
Yeah, I guess that was my thought with the name change thing, with the name reservation thing that went on. You start out maybe $5 for the first 3 months, and then 10 for the next 6 or something like that, and you kind of work it up as that hashed itself out. In the beginning, if you got caught up in that whole problem, there's kind of a reduced price. It's not too much to swallow to work on. And, as it stables out and that's no longer an issue, if they bump the price up, hey, that's fine.
It is interesting that they put that up, a few days before the global unlock happens as well. Very coy, just slide this in here.
Yeah.
And the server transfer thing as well. I mean, server transfer is a little bit cheaper than it is on most other games. Usually those run about $25.
Yeah.
So that is a little cheaper, but it is just funny, the timing.
Well, at the end of the day, they're putting out money to make the product. They got to take money in.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it's business and dollars and cents, and I get that. But, I'm kind of knowing how they operate. I'm just surprised they didn't handle that a little differently. But
yeah.
It's going to work out. I'm sure people are just going to pay it, not even think much about it.
But then with the CREDD, which is their answer to gold selling, I'm sure you guys both have gotten those stupid spam mail messages and the arena invites.
I can't believe they're here already. I was like, oh my
ridiculous.
God, already? Are you kidding me? I'm like, who's sitting around in a little cell somewhere playing this game making gold already?
Yeah. But I mean, what's funny is, I don't know if you guys actually looked at any of those messages, but I was curious just how much they thought they were going to charge for gold. And when we first started getting those, it was like $20 for like 100 gold.
Yeah. Now it's like 6 or 13.
And now it's like 5 since CREDD has come out, and that's incredible. It's tanked their market, and I think that CREDD is working as intended for that purpose. It makes more sense to just go. I mean, CREDD on our server is selling for about 4 to 5 platinum right now. So it's more logical to buy and sell a CREDD and make the money that way. And making more.
But they also had one of the devs on Twitter did make, I think, made statement about how that they were implementing something into the background to help, squish the gold sellers, which that's good in the botters. I mean, they're launching at them like right out the chute. They're like, we're coming for you. Which
they implemented some fixes today. They put in a hot fix that for the arena team invites, that you can hit a button that will filter it so that you can't get invites from anybody that's not on your friends list in a circle with you in your guild, or there was one other one. I forget what it was. But basically, you have to be connected to them in some way for them to be able to send you an arena team invite. So you can't just get random ones. It's a little checkbox that'll pop up. And the first one I got, I checked it, and I haven't seen another one since.
Nice.
So be on the lookout for that. And then with the mail messages, you can click, there's actually a report spam button now inside the mail messages.
I already reported like 4 people.
And what it does is it'll send it to them, and it'll block them from sending anything else to you anymore.
Very nice.
Which doesn't always help, because usually they'll make a new account, but it's something, and they're working on it, like you said. So
that's gonna, they probably throw these few things in that are quick, easy things to help ease the problem while they work on a bigger solution, and that's cool.
Yeah, and like you said, going back to the botting, that was a big kind of issue, more so AFKers in PvP. So they implemented a 3-minute AFK or inactivity detection. So you'll get kicked from a battleground now if you do that. Exactly.
But we know that if Nuttz were playing, they wouldn't be standing there for 3 minutes, because he'd probably come gut him or something from behind.
Yep.
Be like, ah.
I've actually seen that in a few battlegrounds. Actually, in a couple I was doing yesterday, there was this one person that was just like running into a wall, like the whole time, and I'm like, oh, free kill every time I came around. I'm like, yay! You're not botting at all.
So stop.
But as far as the cred goes, when you purchase a cred, the cred is something that is put into your account inventory, which is the same place you've been getting like the boom boxes and all your titles and all that stuff. So you have two options that you can do with the cred, and they actually added one of these because people wanted to be able to like trade it with their friends and things like that. So they added a gifting option.
That's a neat idea.
They didn't have that before.
I like that.
Yeah. Personally, I was kind of worried about it because I like to play the auction house, so I make a decent amount of money in most of these games. And I have a friend who wants, to just sell cred to me directly, but we were trying to figure out how we were going to do that. So with this, that really helps. And so you can gift it to a friend, or you bind it to your account, which I had to go and ask before I did this because I didn't know if it was going to use it. But yes, it is safe. You bind it to your account if you want to sell it on the cred exchange. And then when you have the cred, if you buy one, it's an item you actually get in your inventory again. If you use it, it adds 30 days of game time to your account. And something that I read on the FAQ, which I thought was kind of interesting, was they said if you leave your account inactive for 3 months and it has cred on it, you'll lose the cred.
That's a little
Yeah. So I don't know if you think you're gonna go away, you might want to gift it to somebody who's gonna hang out for a while, or what.
That would just lean me toward I'll buy the gift card, the game card versus but I don't know, I guess I don't know how I feel about that one.
Yeah, it's kind of crappy.
If you pay for time, you earn your time, or whatever, however you look at it, you should be able to have that time.
Okay, so it's already happened. We've already got world first and US first raid kills in Wildstar.
That is just insane already.
It really is.
That's all it took.
I've seen a couple 50s, but not nearly as ready to start raiding.
Yeah, I'm very surprised.
That's crazy.
The world firsts came from EU. They did it first. Yay.
Very good.
Bastard.
The guild, I'm totally going to butcher this name, and I'm sorry if you're in it, but Eugenic.
I think
that's
how
you say
right.
it.
Yeah,
Eugenic.
They killed the very first live raid boss on Saturday, June 8th.
Nice.
Was when they killed that in the middle of the night.
Very good.
And funny enough, since then, they've actually cleared 5 of the 6 bosses.
I wonder what else they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, good for them. I'm, happy for them and all, but man, I just couldn't imagine being in that position right now.
Willing to bet that they were one of the big guilds testing in beta.
Yeah.
To just have that much efficiency, that's just insane. And the only other guild that has put up any kills, even now to this day, and I checked right before we started recording again, is Death and Taxes has killed the first boss.
Death and
That's
Taxes.
an awesome name. I like that.
They're actually an old WoW guild.
Yes, they are.
They're old school WoW.
I had actually looked into them.
Yeah, they went away for a while, but yeah, now they're back, and I know that they were in the beta because I saw several of them. But yeah, they've killed one boss in Genetic Archives. That's all we've seen. Nobody else.
That's still no small feat at this point in the game. I mean, that's just crazy that people have managed to level out and get the attunement and all that stuff done, and to be on that part of the content. Seriously? I mean, holy. That's insane.
Finish the boss. Like, seriously, like, even dungeons going back to Storm Talon at level 44, which I'll get to later, I still wipe sometimes. I mean, granted, you go down, but, like, your gear and your abilities and experience, you still wipe. It's crazy.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about our first impressions and the experiences we've had so far in the live game. And we are going to start with Cabal.
Yes, of course, because the best goes first. So, right out the gate, I was a little bit kind of hesitant, nervous about kind of starting over because of the beta, and I was kind of curious how much fun was I going to have with the playability factor. The fact that you've already kind of done a lot of this content, how is it going to go the second time around? And I've actually found that I've been enjoying myself more the second time. I've found myself doing a lot of completionists ideas. I've been completing every quest in a zone before I move on and maxing out my rep. And I've been spending time doing that. And it's been just really easy to enjoy doing that in and of itself, which I've never found interesting before in any way. But this time around, I'm like, this is actually really fun. And I think a lot of that is because I like the way that they do these regional stories, or world stories, where even though you're doing these quests, they do build up to some kind of semi-climactic end that says you've done the most important thing here, and it makes you feel like now I'm ready to move on. And so I've really kind of stuck around to see these things. And even though I don't sit around and read all the texts and read all the stories and everything else, even though I just kind of go through it, you still get that feeling of, hey, this is the big end. And so I found myself sticking around in zones. With that, the other thing that they do that I like is, the townsfolks will act differently when you're around. They'll put holograms up of you up, and the people cheer.
I haven't noticed that.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's really neat. I like that. It's a small, simple thing, but I have fun with that. And I enjoy how they stick a lot of small cutscenes in. I like those. I love the cutscenes. I think they're great. And I've been doing more crafting than I anticipated, which is pretty well kept me broke.
Yeah.
Which,
That'll keep you drained.
Yeah, I haven't got my mount because I've been crafting. And
oh no.
So now I'm like, I go broke all the time.
What
I'm like,
level are you at now?
I'm like, I got gold, and then I'm like, I got nothing. I got gold, I got nothing. I'm up to 18 at this point,
Oh, no.
but just because I'm hanging out in the areas, and just enjoying what's going on around me. I'm like doing questings and stuff that I may not even be getting experience for, just because.
But no mount?
No mount. Yeah.
How do you survive?
That would drive me insane.
My feet take me everywhere.
Well,
just run around.
If you wait until 25, you'll get your free mount.
I know, right? I was kind of thinking about that. I'm like, God, at the rate I'm going with crafting, I'm gonna be broke.
Long. Yeah, crafting is expensive though. It'll kill you quick. Crafting and housing, those are the two that'll get you.
Oh, I know. Every time I'll start building my gold up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing bad. And then all of a sudden I won't pay attention to it, and I'll start doing some crafting stuff. And next thing you know, I look at it, and I'm like, I got 15 silver left or something. And I'm like, oh, man, this sucks. What happened, And, but, I've been enjoying it. It's been neat that the zones haven't felt overpopulated. I figured on launch, most places are just chaos in those lower levels, and it hasn't felt like overpopulated where you're competing for do quests or just the area or whatever.
Well, they have those overflow servers, so that really helps.
Yeah,
the whole instanced other population. The only thing I really didn't like about that was as far as the PvP goes, it's kind of lame.
True, it does damper that, but
yeah,
But
I get what you're saying too. But...
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'm not a huge PvPer, so for me,
yeah,
most people can come kill you.
No big loss. Yeah, I'm like, I can feel a little safe in my little world here, But
safe for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know you're over on the exile scum, but overall, it was those first couple days with the queues, which again, not a big deal. The devs continued to be engaged with the community, which was awesome. So overall, I really thought the game has run smooth. It's ran smoother than I expected. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I've just been sticking in zones, enjoying it and having a good time. Normally, I'm like one of those, just rush through levels. I just want to level up at max level and get to that. And that's usually my MO, is just to rush through it all. And it's just kind of weird for me having this experience of I'm hanging out in the zone and I'm going to go do this and I'm going to go do that one, even though I don't have to.
Right.
That's really pretty much all I've been up to is really, hitting everything in a zone before I go. How about you, Nuttz? What you been doing? You've probably got a ton of things you've been doing.
Yeah, actually. So since it came out, I'm just kind of no-lifing it until I had school. So I've been kind of everywhere. First, I'd like to say launch, as we said before, went way better than expected. I thought there was going to be crashes and lag, but it was really good. So I started off as a stalker, like I was gonna, but then it turned out that like 4 people in my group decided, or like 2 other people actually, decided they wanted to go stalker. I was like, I don't want to be one of 3 stalkers. I'm gonna go hipster. So I went engineer, and I was digging the engineer to about 25. I was like, these guys are slow. The bots are kind of buggy as right now, and they were still kind of fun. But then I switched back to a medic, and the medic is what I've been playing.
Holy crap! You re-leveled 3 times.
3 times.
Jesus.
So I went from 22 as a stalker, then 25 as an engineer, and then I've been, I could have been max by now.
All I gotta say is I wish I had that kind of time to play.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, I don't anymore, but I could be max and a half right now, probably. But right now I'm a 44 medic. I really like the medic. They're super cool. They're fast, hard to kill, especially with PvP. I actually don't like PvP on the Exile side because they are awful.
Really?
And I will admit it.
Yeah, they are.
At least at early levels. No, I think at early levels they do good, and then it's just like, oh my god, kill
Everybody
me.
just run around chaos. Ah!
Yeah.
Now, are you talking about in Battlegrounds or open world? Okay, yeah, in Battlegrounds they're horrible.
Yes, they are bad. I admit it. Maybe it will change, but I mean, I found myself doing a lot of open world PvP, and I always wreck the dummies as a medic because I can heal. I'm super fast, moving around, and I got all the stuff. So it's really fun. Our guild has been growing. We're getting a lot more people on TeamSpeak. I say we get probably another guy on TeamSpeak a day or every other day, which is cool. I met a lot of people. Are super cool. We're actually on the server Warbringer now because
you moved.
Yes, because on the day of the head start, we all tried getting in, and we had like 3-hour waits. So like, you know what, we want to play now, so we switched to Warbringer.
Which
so
was the
that's
first
where we are
PvP
now.
server they brought up.
Yeah, the first new one, correct. So we switched servers to that. Then we made a guild called Thade Vanguards. So if you want to find us, that's our name.
Nice.
If you guys are around.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, I actually did something I didn't think I was going to do, and I became a scientist as a path for my medic. Because I named my medic Doctor, so I wanted to make him as like doctor-y as possible. So he's a medic, a scientist, and his skills are like technologist. So all about that science.
Dang.
And scientists are really hard. I found that most of their missions are, they seem to be, you have to go find them as opposed to like a warrior, or sorry, a soldier. You could like see on the map where everything is. You got to go find it. And you got to find all the data cubes in a zone, which are hidden. So it's hard. I found so much more content, like adventures. I haven't really done many besides the one that we've done. And the adventures are super fun. Just so much more quests. And I haven't really played much of the Exiles, so it's kind of new for me.
That's right, because you went traitor on us.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to follow the herd.
It's all right.
And I think my favorite zone right now is Farside. Because
everybody loves Farside, and I really
it's
didn't
zero
care
gravity.
For it.
It's zero
I
gravity.
hated that
It's like,
so
whoa.
much.
Oh, that was so great.
Everyone
Are you in what is it called? Wilder Run?
Yeah.
I am so sorry.
That's like my favorite so far.
No, that's like the grand of freaking
I love
Wildstar. No, all the kill quests. Those are the worst.
Oh, that's
and then
one
the
of my
plants.
favorite. I love it.
The plants. I
See,
hate the plants.
That's one of the things I like though about what they do with their questing is it's like, okay, you go out and seems like you do some kill quests, and just as you're like getting sick of that, it seems like they just throw other things in there.
Yeah, it's not that I hated Wilder Run because it looked so pretty. It looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
I hated the plants because they're just annoying.
Stepping on them, noob.
I'm just trying to like stroll through the jungle here, and like I get eaten by a freaking plant. It's like, oh no, not another one. And then you move like 5 feet and you get eaten by another one. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad zone, but I definitely like the zero gravity, and Malgrave is a dirty desert, and I don't like it. I'm almost out. Like I was talking about for the instances, like dungeons and stuff. I've done dungeons I haven't done before, such as Skullcano. And have you done Skullcano?
I haven't been able to find a group that can complete it yet.
I've done it
always
twice.
dies at the stupid gauntlet.
Oh my god! Oh,
and
it
then
was
groups
so funny.
disband. I had a
should've-
group that tried to do it this way. Like, 2 people got across, and somebody had I think it's the settler or scientist that could do that summon.
Yeah, the
and
scientist,
somebody
yeah.
tried to do that, but because the people didn't actually cross through the gauntlet, it wouldn't push the dungeon objective.
Oh man,
So we
That's-
couldn't fight the boss.
that sucks.
I was like, this is lame.
Luckily, we do guild runs if we can.
Yeah.
We do that, but it was so funny. The guildies are hilarious, so it was a fun time. We ended up getting through the dungeon all the way to the last boss, and then someone DC'd, but we four-manned it. And then I did it again, and we four-manned it again. So it seems like the key to the last guy is the four-man it. Have someone just kill themselves or something. But
You're just gonna sacrifice yourself right
Yeah.
off the bat, and all
it's-
will be well.
the dungeons are difficult, but they're not like rip your hair out frustrating. Like it makes it so you want to keep trying and finish it, and you feel achieved when you actually do it.
Not gonna
Like,
lie,
even-
I rage quit on one of those Skullcano groups. It was
Well, yeah.
horrible.
If you're running with pugs, yeah, it can get frustrating. But
Like,
if
and
you're
I
running
don't
with
get
friends-
mad at this stuff, but like, I threw my mouse and I was like, screw it, I'm done.
And
not
then,
doing this
then your
anymore.
mouse shatters, and you're like, ah.
Nah, how am I gonna
No,
play?
I've got a nice Razer mouse. It's durable. They build them with the expectation that people are gonna rage.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and
The testing lab. Throw against the wall. Throw against the wall.
Probably.
I found. Have you tried Siege and Tempest? Oh well, no, you're
Not yet.
you're a Dominion. You can't do it.
No, I can do that.
You can do Siege and Tempest Refuge.
Yeah, that's an adventure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
just
like
haven't
the-
done it yet.
It's like the Dominion are attacking.
It
Tempest
probably
Refuge.
changes it, I would imagine.
Maybe you guys take it over and then we come take it back or something. But that one's hard, and I've never finished that one. But it
I
seems
heard
like
that
some
one's got
adventures-
some issues going on with it, though.
Yeah,
as
I think
well.
it does.
That's making
because,
it like overtuned or something like that.
because some of the bosses have an insane amount of health.
Yeah.
Like more than a tank, and that doesn't even make any sense. They just don't die and they like insta kill everything, and it's just crazy. I didn't think it was intentional, but it might have been. I don't know. But if something's wrong with it, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
But I have not been actually keeping up with my professions because they make me so poor.
Yeah.
So I'll go back and do that later. One tip is you better start playing the auction house because money's hard to come by. Like I'm still not making a gold per quest for
Really?
Yeah, not really.
That's weird. I made like a platinum going through Farside.
What?
Yeah.
I want a platinum. I have like
can't
a
even get
platinum in
I
hand.
can't even get my hands on a mountain. She's like, I made a brat.
I have like
Okay.
Well, granted, I probably could have had a plat, but I respect like 3 times, and it's like 20 gold now. So
Yeah. There's quite
I
a few
respect
gold
3
things.
times. I leveled 3 times. You know.
Yeah.
yeah, so you can make money, but some things cost a lot. So if you play the auction house, someone has like dual professions in my guild, and all I do is sell the mats. So they just rock it, and they have like 4 plat right now. So,
Wow.
and I think the last thing I want is a house, like a bigger house, because I have a pretty cool house going, but I don't have the money. That's kind of my experience. I really
That's
like
what
it. So
That's what I'm afraid of. I'm like, crafting is running me broke. And I'm sitting there thinking, I know how broke my house is going to run me if I start messing with the house. And I'm like, I'm going to be always poor. I got to figure something out. I'm like, this, because look how fast it goes. I mean, you get an idea in your nugget to do with the house, and you just kind of go through and do it, and next thing you know, all your money is gone. You're like,
yeah, and that's why you gotta run the auction house. Like,
yeah.
I don't understand. I do not understand it.
He won't be
My
able to
friend-
do that on our server. I've already taken that role.
Like
Yeah.
everyone would be like, "Oh, I just put all the the items I find off mobs and just put it in the auction house for like 5 gold or whatever." I'm like, okay, I'll do that. So I do it. I put it in yesterday, like 8 items that I found, and none of them have been bought in or anything. I'm like, oh, gee, buy my things. I need to be rich.
I think I put 4 things on the auction house. I don't think anything sold.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
So I mean, learn how to use the commodities, learn how to do the auction. That's about my experience. How about you, Jazzy?
So, like we were talking about, for the first few days over Head Start weekend, I myself did get a few queues that took me up to an hour, But there was one time I got that stupid bug that a couple people got where like you wait in the queue and then it just puts you on like the background of the character screen, but you have like nothing there.
Yeah, I had that happen
Start
once or
over
twice.
again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I had that happen.
That was my problem the first day.
Yeah, that kind of sucked. I only had that once, luckily. But yeah, I did get a couple queues that took about an hour. I think the last time I got one was like on like June 3rd on the Tuesday it launched, and it was only like 15 minutes, maybe.
That was, yeah, because I
haven't
remember.
gotten any.
Yeah, I remember logging in, and I think it was like launch day, the official launch day, and I remember hitting a queue, and it said 15 minutes, and I was like, wow, that's like nothing.
Yeah, so it's been good there. When I started my leveling, because, you know, I played in beta, obviously, I had worked out the fastest route to level 12, because you have to be level 12 to make a guild. So I got to level 12, but then we all kind of ran into the problem of not having enough gold to make the guild.
Common problem.
So,
We all chipped in like 2 gold.
yeah, everybody, I was like taking gold from everyone to get, you know, the guild going. I'm level 38 right now. I'm taking my time leveling. Yesterday I kind of went on like a spree and got like 8 levels in one day. So
Nice.
I'm not even sure how that happened, because it's like you say, like you're just playing the game. Like I'm not like, oh, I have to get to, you know, level 40. I'm just playing, and then I look up and I'm like 38. I was like, holy crap, that's crazy. I'm just having fun.
I don't know if they're going to change it, but have you noticed that after like level 31, 32, you don't get any more abilities?
No, I haven't noticed.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. But in a way, I mean, it doesn't bother me too much, but like some people it might seem like they have nothing else to look forward to when they level. You know what I mean? Besides, you know, endgame.
It's almost
Well, I
like you
mean-
got to dribble an increment of something.
Well, there's amps that you unlock at the higher
Yeah,
levels that are
you
like
can.
new abilities. You know,
That-
they give you
yeah.
other things, so.
Right. At level 18, you can unlock amp ability, but you can spec into 2, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, I guess it's just not as obvious once you hit 30, you know, after you unlock the 8th slot. I mean, I'm okay with it. For me, when I was in beta, I completely avoided doing any path quests at all. I think I did maybe like the first few intro ones because that was something that I wanted to save for the live game. I'm an explorer, so a lot of those path quests are a lot of fun. It's a lot of climbing really high things and, you know, finding interesting caves, and there's been a lot of really cool areas that I would have never seen otherwise had I not been an explorer. It's just some incredible stuff, like climbing to, like in Farside actually was one of my favorite explorer quests, so I'll give Farside that. There was this radio tower that was like really, really tall, and you had to like climb all the way up it, and it had like this really narrow cable that like spiraled around the top part.
Right.
And that was really hard to climb with 0 gravity. So, but like when you got up there, it was like the tallest area, or the tallest spot in the area, and you just see everything. And another cool thing they do is that when you do those, usually they're what's called the cartography quests, which is like, you know, you're scoping out the area. They do like a little mini cinematic, like 360 camera thing of the area you're in, and those are so gorgeous.
Yeah, those, I really like it when they do that, or when you drop the well, like, I don't know if it's a transmission beacon or something, and they cut a small cinematic, and
Yeah.
they show stuff, and I'm like, I love those little cutscenes. I'm like,
They're
those are just
so
awesome.
pretty. Yeah, I love it. And especially, like I said, in those things where you're up like really, really high, like, oh wow, that's really cool. But and then there's been other parts. Like one of my favorite things that I've done so far as an explorer was actually one in Whitevale. It was a ship that was underwater, and you have to swim down to the door and get in. And then to the left, when you walk in, there's another door that you can only get in if you're an explorer. So I go through this door, and there's a 5-man boss sitting right in front of a treasure chest.
Oh, man.
I was like, ah. So I tried to
You're
kill
like, I
him.
gotta have it.
Yeah. So I tried to kill him, and I couldn't quite do it. And then, funny enough, an exile came running up behind me, and him and I actually worked together to kill the boss.
It's kind of cool. I kind of like that the 2 factions can work together
Yeah.
at the same time without killing each other. It's kind of hard to stay at each other's telegraphs all the time.
Yeah.
And a nice tip, if you keep getting ganked by one guy, put him as a rival, and you can see him on your map. So if you ever see him, you can hightail it out of there. Don't think
There you go. That's a
can
good
fight him.
idea.
I did that because someone was killing one of my guildies and I put them on the map. So every time I saw them, I went and killed them. But
so speaking of rivals, we actually, our guild on Pago, Legendary Souls, we actually already have a rival guild.
Great.
yeah,
And it's a friendly rivalry, of course, frenemies, but it's a challenge accepted. There's some members of the community that I've made friends with over the last couple months in doing the show and other stuff, and they just happened to roll on our server as I. So I've had some fun messing with them. But you guys were talking about housing. So I've already lost a good 2 to 3 days to housing, like straight 6-hour play sessions of just housing. So I've lost a lot of time to it. A couple days ago, I actually bought my big house.
Nice.
lucky.
Happy about that.
Very nice.
And because I'm leveling Architect, I actually have a lot of housing stuff. Architect was a big drain on money, though. The only reason I had the Platinum to, like, get going is I actually sold a CREDD. So I had, like, 4 Platinum from that.
So did you buy a CREDD and then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I bought it from Carbine and then sold it. Right. Yep. So I had, enough money. I went and bought the big house, and then I went and leveled up my Architect. I'm about halfway through my crafting, but yeah, I was doing some earlier, and I was at a little over a Platinum, and I spent all the way down to 24 gold.
Oh,
So
wow.
it is quite expensive. And like I said, I'm only at about the halfway point of crafting for Architect. So it's pretty crazy, but I've liked it. I got all kinds of really cool stuff for my house, and my house is all pretty.
That's the one crafting thing that I've thought about. If there was something to push me to change what I do, I think I would go over to that, just because I'm sure you can make all kinds of cool stuff for your house, which has to be just really neat.
It seems like, though, from what I've seen so far, a lot of the stuff that architects can make also drops. I mean, I haven't seen anything that's exclusive to the architect, not yet anyway. But I mean, I see a lot of the same stuff that I've already made or can make in challenge rewards and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's gotta be, I'm sure there is, exclusive things, but probably more towards the end, I would think.
Yeah, and they made Architects, didn't they kind of make the mats more expensive to kind of counter the selling ability of Architects because they can make so much money?
Oh, there were people that were kind of exploiting. They've fixed it since then, so I don't mind go ahead and saying what it is. People were buying the mats from the vendor and making items, like early level items, and then just selling them back to the vendor for a profit.
Oh, okay.
So there was an exploit with that people were doing. That was in the first couple days. That was nipped in the bud, but you can't do that anymore. I never did that. And yeah, I would have felt really cheap doing that, I think. Actually, I think I heard some people might have gotten banned for doing that.
Oh.
So, but okay, so, and we talked about Skullcano a little bit. I freaking hate that dungeon so much. I've tried 3 or 4 times to do it, but I can't get a group to finish it. I don't know what it is. And my last group couldn't even kill the first boss. But it seems to me I'm not trying to brag when I say this. I've been playing beta for, a good 6 or 7 months before the game launched. And I mean, it's safe to say I've only played Spellslinger pretty much. That's all I've played. I know how to play it. I've been playing it. And every time I do a dungeon, if I do the things I'm supposed to do, the right way, I always die because I pull aggro off everyone. It's so horrible. Even if I wait, and that's been my, experience in dungeons, I can't play properly or I die. So I don't know.
All you.
Maybe, I don't know. And I try. I don't know. It's just people, don't know how to tank yet, or something's wrong with the tanks, or what.
You're just laying down such massive damage.
Well, that's what I said. I'm not trying to brag. I mean, I know that I know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to wait. I guess it's just, people don't know what they're doing yet. I don't know.
Oh, who knows?
Can't figure it out.
I'm sure they've made it where there's plenty of variables.
Yeah.
I usually don't run dungeons unless I have a couple people, so we usually have a tank. So that knows what they're doing. I try not to pug people because that's just frustrating. But.
Well, a lot of people in our guild are kind of like, you know, taking their time because we told everyone we're not in a rush. You know, if it takes a month or two, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
But, you know, so I don't really have, I mean, there's just like a couple other people now that I could do stuff with because there were a couple people that were ahead of me for a while until I had my big spree of leveling. But yeah, I just haven't had anybody to do it with because everybody's, you know, in 25 and lower-ish area.
Right.
But
Ish.
yeah, something like that. But something cool that I did get to do yesterday, I actually got to be on the Wildstar live stream yesterday.
Yes, I saw that.
I got to PvP with Kaywin, Tony Ray, Salty Okra, and Corrupt, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was that like? That had to be neat.
Carrying Tony is fun. I don't know if you guys were watching the stream at all, but for like the first match, he didn't have like any of his abilities.
Oh.
So it was low level PvP. It was level like 6 and up, whatever the bracket is, 6 to 14.
50, yeah.
Yeah, but he's so bad.
I just so like Tony Ray though. I mean, that poor man.
Oh.
If it's Frost, he's taking a ribbon. If it's Kaywin, he's taking a ribbon. I'm like, Tony Ray is great. He takes it so well, and he's so funny. And that guy is a blast.
She was
I like him.
giving him the business for
She
sure.
was.
And I didn't think to do it, and somebody told me afterwards I should have recorded because Salty, Okra, Corrupt, and myself, we were all on Skype together, and I should have recorded it from our end because it was just a lot of like face palming and like, what is he doing?
I bet.
What is he doing? Even Kaywin, it was funny, like in the middle of it, she had to tell him like where to open his abilities. he's like, I don't know how to get to, no, push B, it's okay. It was a really funny episode, and if anyone hasn't seen it, I definitely recommend watching it because
it was entertaining. It was good. It was entertaining.
But yeah, and it was really good to see Kaywin, you know, get to, you know, do a stream again, because that's kind of where she came from, and that was her in her element, you know, doing what she loves to do. And she hasn't been able to do that since she started at Carbine, so I think she enjoyed it as well.
Oh, I bet. Had to feel good to get back to it.
Yeah, for sure. But, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much my experience so far as well.
Sounds like all in all, we've all been kind of busy in our own way. That's for sure.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us again. Thanks for tuning in and listening. If you guys want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow myself, Jazzy, at Jazzy_Chua. And you can also follow Cabal at Cabal_Makari. You can subscribe to Nuttz on his YouTube channel for reviews, playthroughs, and commentaries on lots of different games at youtube.com/Cluffy142. And he's actually going to do it now. He said he is.
Yeah, I got some stuff ready.
All right, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what your guys' experience has been so far. How was the launch for you? And we will see you guys next time.